Today, Corny Camp Skills. Xavier, what are we doing?
Judging from the stuff on the table, I assume impromptu surgery?
Sure. So today on Corny Camp Skills, I'm going to show you guys how to build a first aid kit. So there's different types of first aid kits, right? Your first aid kit has got to be built for what you're doing, right? So I've got like the big one that I have here. This is my big first aid kit for when I'm doing expeditions. Like I'm going for 2 weeks in the mountains, and I know I'm going to be far, so I got a big one. And I got a little baby one that I use for day trips. Like when I'm doing a day hike like I did with Mom there yesterday, I carried this with me. All right. And today we're going to build one for the in-between, because I noticed that I've got a big, I've got a small, but I don't have the in-between one. So the in-between one would be like if I'm going hiking for the weekend. So for 2 days and that. So I need a bit more stuff. So we'll build one of those, and I'll have one of each.
Okay.
Okay. So the different stuff. So how you build your first aid kit, you're looking at what are the ailments that you're going to see. What are the type of bobos you're going to get when you're out hiking? So what do you think? What do you think are different types of bobos we're going to get?
Poison ivy and beaver fever?
Yes, beaver fever. Okay, so beaver fever is if you're drinking some water and you get giardia, and then you'll have diarrhea and stuff like that. So I was going to say malaria. No, anti-diarrhea pills, which is a good one. Anything else?
Disinfecting tablets for water?
No, not in your first aid kit. I put that in my survival kit.
Of course.
So think of simple things. What are the bobos that you make the most?
Bandages, of course.
For what?
Wounds, open wounds.
Cuts and scrapes. Okay, so cuts and scrapes is a big one. A lot of people do. When you're hiking, what are you going to get on your feet?
Blisters?
Blisters. So we're going to have stuff for cuts and scrapes, blisters. Like you said, yeah, giardia. If I got a headache, you know, there's different signs. There are problems with that, though. Your headache might be because of dehydration. Heat stroke. So part of dehydration in the summertime of that. So if we can get heat stroke in the summertime, what can we get in the cool seasons?
Frostbite?
Hypothermia.
Dang it.
Pretty close, though. So we got something in there to help you with a bit with hypothermia and things like that. And then the things that go with it. How about sprains?
I don't know.
Like if you sprain your ankle.
Yeah, what do you use? Some kind of cream or something?
We use a tensor bandage. Well, first of all, it depends on how bad it is. And then it's like your ankle's going to swell up. So like don't take off your boot.
Okay.
Because if you take off your boot and if it's bad, you won't be able to get the boot back on.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, Xavier, I'll show the 3 different kits that I have made already. So the first one on the right is what I call my trauma kit. So I leave this one in the car, like if we're doing long trips on the road and stuff like that. So this is a bit heavy duty. So it adds to my big one. So in my trauma kit, I have things like a tourniquet. Like, you know, if somebody loses a limb or something like that, we can stop the blood.
Oh.
So this is what I call trauma. So it's got the gloves in it and that. And it's got some things like marker for writing on the people. It's got some cleaning disinfectant solutions and that. It's got a whole bunch of triangular bandages in there. Okay, so that's more for trauma. Then I go over to my main one that I carry. So in the top, up here, is all the different kind of meds that I have. So I'll have Tylenol, ibuprofen, aspirin, what else in there? Yeah, the anti-diarrhea stuff we were talking about. I have some Vaseline in there, or polysporin, stuff for burns. Then here it's all my different types of Band-Aids. I have a rescue breather, in case, I have to give mouth-to-mouth to somebody.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have some more gloves again. I have a tick remover.
Oh.
So all the different types of Band-Aids. I have some triangular bandages. Then you see a big syringe here, some lip seal, some of the tools, tweezers and that you need. I've got some stuff in here also to do, if I needed to, I can even do stitches. Where's my little stitch kit? It's in there somewhere. So I have a kit to do stitches in there too. Okay. Then I got my baby one. So this is the little one there. This is only the essentials I need if I'm going for a day. So I have some tape, some gauze, a tensor bandage.
What's the difference between that and gauze?
I'll show you in a bit when we get to how we're going to build the other one. Then I've got some stuff for cleaning a wound. I got some ibuprofen, and I got a little baggie full of Band-Aids. Different types of Band-Aids of that. So Xavier, what we have here are the items that we're going to put in our weekend bag. Okay. So of course you need a bag. You got to start off with a bag.
Okay.
Now I'd rather have a red one like that, but this is what I got left. Kind of thing. Okay. So we're going to use this bag here. And anyways, we know what our first aid kit is. So we're going to start off with, on here we have these are disinfecting towelettes. So one is alcohol and the other one is Ben something. But it's used to, so if you get a cut, it's really important when you're in the woods, if you get a cut, to clean it. Because especially when you're out in the woods, when you're in the dirt and stuff like that, bacteria can get in, can get infected.
Okay.
So that is the most dangerous thing once you get a cut, is the infection. So you always want to clean it before you wrap it.
Okay. By the way, I think it's pronounced benzalkonium, I assume.
Could be. All right. So we've got a little rescue breather like I have in the other one. So if you have to give...
Is it a bit smaller than the other one?
It's tiny, eh? And it has the instructions written on it if you need to use it.
Sorry, carry on.
Okay. So this is a rescue breather if you have to give mouth to mouth to somebody. Okay. Especially nowadays, you know, in COVID environment and all stuff like that. That's really helpful. So then I've got some sutures. So sutures is like if you have a cut that's really wide, that's open very wide and it's deep, and you're noticing you got to close it up. Like, you know, you want to close the wound up.
The cut where you can literally see the meat.
Yeah. So you want to close it up before you wrap it up. Same kind of thing. You cleaned it, you got all the dirt out of it, you want to close it up. So like this one here, this is called a butterfly. So it's got adhesive on each side of it. So you take that adhesive side off, you put it on one side, you pull it closed, and you put it on the other side. So that's what they call a butterfly. That's one type. And these are Surrey strips, so it's another type also. So they're in here. So this is closed because it's clean. Same thing there. That's clean in there. And it's got these little sticky pads. You peel them off, and you can put it on one side, and then you pull it over. You close it up and put it on the other side. Okay. So again, some pads for cleaning if you're bleeding and stuff like that.
Okay.
For cleaning it off. And you can also use that to put on wounds if you want to stop the bleeding. Okay. Normal Band-Aids. Okay.
Of course, basic stuff.
Yeah, normal Band-Aids, finger Band-Aids. So there's two different types of fingertip Band-Aids. These are very helpful, okay? I've got some second skin. So this stuff is made especially to go on top of blisters.
Oh.
And it's sticky on one side. So what you do is you cut it to the size you need with your scissors. You cut off you don't want to use it square. You want it to be more round. Because ever notice a sticker is easy to pull off if it's square?
Yeah.
So if you make it a bit more roundish, it's harder to pull off. It won't come off. So you make it a bit more roundish, and then you put that on top of your blister.
Is this beige colored because it's called second skin, or it's called second skin because it's beige colored?
I have no idea.
I really hope that did not come out as racist.
No, it probably didn't. Okay. Triangular bandage. So triangular bandage, you remember your first aid course that you did? You used triangular bandages, I bet you, to put a splint on somebody on their arm. You learned how to do that, right? Remember talking a bit about hypothermia. So there's a blanket here, a solar blanket. So you can, you know, if somebody's cold, you can put this around them. It'll reflect the heat back in. Okay. There's 3 compression bandages. So this bandage, so right here, it's got a piece of gauze like this in the middle. It's a bit thicker in the middle, and then it has like 2 strings. So you can wrap it around the wound and then tie it on top of it.
Okay.
Okay. So those are compression ones. Some little Q-tips for cleaning wounds that are dirty. Now I have a syringe in here. You might be wondering, why the heck does Dad have a syringe?
I mean, to inject things?
No. So what we'll do with that is you'll use clean water. You put it in the syringe, and you can use it to clean out the wound.
My second guess was to take out pressure from a...
No, I don't do that kind of stuff.
From a vein. Oh, so it doesn't have a...
No, it doesn't have a needle on it.
Oh, I thought it had a needle.
No, there's no needle on it. Okay, so tweezers. So tweezers are used for if you got a splinter. Get your splinter out. Scissors for cutting things. I've got a little scalpel blade in there, so that's a knife.
This is a scalpel?
No, just the blade to it.
Yeah,
very sharp.
It's so tiny.
Yeah, it's very sharp.
Like, you're supposed to hold it between your fingers?
Yeah, so it's just the blade. Because when surgeons are using this, you attach the scalpel to a handle.
Do you have a handle?
No, I don't have a handle.
That feels dangerous.
So these are very helpful when you need to cut things off. If you need to cut off a bit of skin that's hanging, you know, off of a wound or something like that. you can use that. Gastrolite. So if you get heat stroke, one of the problems with heat stroke is you've lost a lot of your electrolytes. Okay? Mm-hmm. You've got to bring your water levels back up, and you've lost a lot of electrolytes. So if somebody's got heat stroke, you give them, so you take one of these pouches and you put it in like 1 liter of water in an Nalgene, and you give it to them to drink slowly.
Oh, this is like powdered electrolytes.
Exactly, that's what it is. So we're talking about the diarrhea stuff.
Yeah.
So this is anti-diarrhea pills.
Okay.
And then we have some hay fever pills. So hay fever pills are great also, so for if you have allergies or if you have a runny nose. So this will help you a lot for those 3 things.
Yeah, okay.
Polysporin, remember we were talking about if you got a cut, clean it, disinfect it, and you can put a bit of polysporin in there. So that's an anti...
What is...
It's an anti... Oh, I can't say the word anymore.
Antibiotic?
Yeah, kind of cream, okay? So you put that on your wound, and then like you can use the toothpicks to take a bit of this and put it on your wound, and that will keep your wound clean. Okay? Very important, like I said, when you're in the woods, is to keep your wounds clean or they'll get infected. The Gold Bond tube that I have here is an anti-itch cream and also a burn ointment. So if you burn your fingers picking up the pot, this will help. If you get sunburns, that'll help.
It says it's anti-itch cream, so could you also use this for like poison ivy?
That's what I was about to say. Poison ivy, mosquito bites, it'll work for that.
Gold Bond, my favorite 007 movie.
Oh. So we got some Tylenol in there for headaches and stuff like that. Advil, which is ibuprofen, so this is great for sore muscles and different things like that. A roll of gauze, you know, for fixing up your wounds and that. I always have a roll of medical tape. Okay, so either for sticking things together, not your body parts though, but if you want to, you know, tape up some of your gauze or like that, or even you can put this on your feet, on the hot spots on your feet if you're starting to get blisters. Instead of the moleskin, you can use that tape. Here's a tensor bandage. So this one is a sticky tensor bandage. Okay, so I don't want to open it up because it's sticky on one side. So if you have a sprained ankle, you can wrap this tight around your sprained ankle and it'll help you to walk. Because when you're deep in the woods, you got to walk out of the woods, right?
Sorry, I missed what this thing.
Tylenol, if you have a headache.
Oh, okay, yeah. I read the label, but I wanted to know what you said.
So one thing is very important that I got to explain to you here. When you have medication in your first aid kit, you are not a doctor. You're not qualified to give medication to somebody. So like me, I'm your parent, so I can say, Xavier, here, take these Tylenol, you got a headache. That's fine. I'm your parent.
Okay.
But if we're 2 adults in the woods and that, and you say, oh, I got a headache, and I say, oh, I have some Advil here or some Tylenol, you should take that. I'm not a doctor, I can't say that. I can say I have some Advil or some Tylenol, would you want some? And I can give it to you and put it in your hand and you take it yourself, but I cannot administer it to you because I'm not a doctor. It's very important. Okay.
That's understandable.
So one of the last things I wanted to show you is I got this little tube in here, and this thing is great. So if you got a cut on your finger or something like that, and you can put the Band-Aid on it, and this thing stretches a lot. Like I could get it all the way up onto my arm. So if I have a cut on my arm and I got a Band-Aid there.
Really
like,
that stretchy?
Yeah, it is. So if I take like a pad like this, put it on my arm, tape it there, then I can put this on top of it.
Oh, you only have one of them?
Well, I've got more, but that's all I need. I have a whole length of it, but that's all I need for here.
Wow, that's really cool.
Don't stretch it.
Sorry, they're just stretchy.
Okay. And then we're going to put everything in the bag. So we put the stuff. What's missing here, do you think, out of all my stuff that I have? I'm missing a very important tool here. When you're doing your first aid training, what was the first thing you have to put on before you give anybody first aid?
Put a blanket? Gloves.
Gloves, okay? So I'm missing gloves out of this. This is the only thing. So what we're going to put in here is the things that you're going to need the quickest and the most probably often, put them on the top.
Okay.
So I always put the Band-Aids on the top.
Okay.
And also my rescue breather if I have to give CPR or something like that, okay? So I'm just going to put that in the side pouch.
Okay, so we put the medication on the bottom?
Yeah, we'll put the medication on the bottom. because I rarely use that.
And also the scissors.
The scissors, I'll put, look, I got a little pouch, and I'll put the tools in the pouch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that I'm going to put at the bottom too. One more little razor. Yeah, you can put the tweezers in there. How about you put the syringe with the tools?
Oh, and the Q-tips too?
Yeah, sure, put the Q-tips in there.
Those counts as tools.
Okay, so let's put the Surrey strips in the bottom with these. We'll put in our pads. Put that at the back of it. Yeah, I want this close to the top because I use that quite often. And then we're going to take these and put them in that little front pouch that I have. Yeah, put that in there. Yep, put that on top. And then put the Band-Aids. Okay, so everything's in. Is there anything I can do to improve this? Of course, I'll have my rubber gloves in here.
Yeah.
So this is one thing people think of a lot. Your bag is not waterproof.
Oh.
Okay, so if you look at my big one, I've got everything is in its own individual Ziploc bag. My little one though, it is not, okay? Except for the Band-Aids. The other stuff is not wrapped in a plastic bag. So you've got to remember, if you're gonna not put your stuff in Ziploc bags, make sure it's somewhere that it's gonna stay dry.
Oh, this isn't a waterproof bag, is it?
No, it's not. So if I'm on a canoe trip, make sure that is either in Ziploc bags or it's in a dry bag.
Do dry bags float?
Yes.
That's nice. Surprisingly, I was not thinking about condoms at all.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in you.
Okay,
Stretchy Chinese finger
come
trap.
on. Yeah, hey, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's do our closing scene.
I have one more question though. It may be a bit stupid. With the trauma kit, is there absolutely anything that would help out with a lost limb other than the tourniquet? Like, would there? It feels a bit stupid to ask this, but is there anything in there that's made to sort of help to put the limb back? I cannot imagine.
Okay, so if you lose an appendage, anything,
Yeah.
you get a finger cut off or something like that. Of course, yeah, the tourniquet's going to help if you lose your leg. You know, so we can cut the blood flow off with that. The important thing though is to bring the appendage with you, with the person, to the hospital.
To get reattached.
Because a lot of the times they can reattach stuff. So it's important to bring it with you.
But there isn't anything in the first aid kit to do that.
No.
Yeah, because obviously that sort of thing takes, experience.
Yeah, you don't. I'm not going to start sewing body parts back on people.
Yeah, no. Who
Okay.
are you, Frankenstein?
Okay, so to recap what we did today. So we've got our 3 first aid kits. I had a big one, a little one, and we built an in-between one. The only thing I'm going to do to improve on this that we didn't do tonight is put some rubber gloves in there, and I'm probably going to put everything in Ziploc bags. And then we're done.
Right. Can I throw this in the air?
No. Okay.
When I said Frankenstein, I hope people realize I was talking about the professor and not the monster, because since technically it's Frankenstein's monster. What?
Einstein.